Hello guys, welcome back to Empower Tutorials. This is your master teacher Dr. Sonam. So guys, I'm back with yet another session on human physiology. So what have we started? I think we've completed with the circulatory system. Then further moving on towards the excretory system, we are even done with that. So now moving further to another major part of human physiology. The most important part, rather you can say post the circulatory system, is that of the nervous system. All right. So a very important part with regards to all the entrance exams, all your MCQs, your theory exams, everything. It's a very important topic to deal with. So let's go ahead. I think we'll probably be having say 3 to 4 sessions on this topic. It's quite a huge topic, a vast one, but a very important one. So I would be great if you all attend all the sessions on nervous system, as each of the sessions are going to be interconnected. So stay tuned to the sessions of nervous system and let's get started. Okay, so every student can learn, just not on the same day or in the same way, right? So if you all remember last session, I told you all one thing, remember for life. Never stop being a student, right? No matter where you reach, what levels of life you reach, be it personal, professional, no matter where you are at what stage of your life, don't stop being a learner, don't stop being a student, right? So another important thing that we get to learn from this quote here today is that you people are going to achieve a lot, but if you all stay probably in comparisons with everything around you, it probably would not help you. Everybody is definitely going to learn, everybody can and will learn, but it's just that you all are not going to learn it on the same day or in the same way. Just remember one thing, you're not ahead in life, you're not behind in life. Wherever you are in life, you're supposed to be there. All right. So do not make any comparisons with anyone around you. Do not let anybody around you let you down. Just be confident on yourself and keep learning. All right. So let's get started. Okay. Now to begin with the nervous system, today we are talking, right? You all are listening, I'm talking, we have all this technology around us. What do you think is working around us? What do you think is working within us? Yes, it is the nervous system. It is our brain that is working, right? So the major part of the nervous system has something to do deal with the brain. Like when we talk about the excretory system, we are majorly talking about the kidney. When we are talking about the circulatory system, we are talking about the heart, right? So it is the nervous system that we are going to talk about here. And as the heart is a main functional unit, then we have the kidney in the excretory system. So here we have the brain. All right, we'll be talking in detail about the parts of the brain, all the functions of the brain, how and why and when the brain helps us do what. We'll go into those detailing probably in the next sessions. In the first sessions here, what we are going to see is the basic need of nervous system, the basic unit of the nervous system, and all the basic terminologies that are related to the nervous system, so that it becomes easier for us to stay in sync with the coming upcoming sessions on this chapter. All right. So yes, why do we need the nervous system? Basically what nervous system does is, or say why and how the brain helps us is, it keeps us aware of everything that is going on in the surroundings. We talk, we read, we walk, we say, we think. There is some kind of awareness within our brain, say consciously, subconsciously, the brain is working. All right. Now it could be voluntary activities, it could be involuntary activities, right? What are voluntary activities? Voluntary is anything we do it willingly, we do willingly, right? We always say, would you like to volunteer for this job, right? So what are we trying to say? Are you willing to do it? So voluntary is something that you're willing to do, and in simple words, you can say voluntary is something that is in your control. All right. Whereas involuntary is something that is beyond your control, that just keeps happening. For example, if we talk about our body, now say walking, running, eating, sleeping, drinking is all voluntary, right? But when we talk about the heart pumping blood, when we talk about our brain working, say when we talk about the blood flow in our body, the blood pressure column, pulse, all these things are all involuntary. We have absolutely no role to play consciously when these activities are going on, right? So whether it is the voluntary activities, whether it is the involuntary activities, it is all the major actions which are performed by the brain, okay, because of certain stimulus that reaches the brain and the brain reacts in that way. All right. So that is why for all the basic activities that we do, be it thinking, be it writing, be it reading a book, be it just simply being aware of what is going on around us, or simply just being silent, the brain cells are functioning. All right. So that is the most important part of the nervous system. That is the brain that we are going to deal with. So yes, let's go ahead. Okay. Now, before we go into the detailing of this chapter, there are going to be some important terminologies. These terms we will be regularly using. I will be regularly using these terms in all the upcoming sessions. So just know them. They are very simple. You have to learn these definitions. Make sure you write them word to word as they are, because you are not supposed to change the definitions. They are simply technical words, scientific words that you need to remember. All right. So make sure you all have learned all these definitions. And chalo, let's go through them one by one. First one is stimulus, an agent or a sudden change of the external or internal environment that results in a change in an organism or any of its body parts. Now, stimulus is basically something that causes some action in you. Okay, that is poking you, you can say. Stimulus is basically poking, in simple words, let's say. Okay, now for example, you're touching some hot object. All right, so that hot object is giving you stimulus. Okay, that is stimulus. Now that is going to cause some change in your body. All right, that is known as stimulus. Next thing is response. Now you have touched that hot object, right? What you're going to do next is you're going to immediately withdraw your hand, right? So that is your response to the stimulus that is in front of you. That is response. We'll see two or three more examples with regards to all these terms. I'm just giving you this basic example. Next is impulse. Impulse is a wave of irritability, which is electrical disturbance that sweeps over the nerve cells. All right, now nerve cells are all the basic cells which are functioning in your brain, which are part of the brain. Now nerve cells are going to play this major function जो आपको दिख रहा है. For example, say if it's a hot object, now you're going to be touching that hot object. So quickly, as soon as you know that that object is hot, there is quickly going to be an impulse which will be generated in your nerve cells. Okay, so nerve cells are going to play this role of creating or generating a response in your brain, a impulse in your brain. Right, that is impulse. Next thing is receptors. Now when you see some stimulus, or when there is some stimulus in front of you, now for example, we've taken the example of a hot vessel. Okay, so now the cells which are receiving that stimulus, okay, which are basically acting as receptors to that stimulus. For example, what they are called as, they are the specialized epithelial cells which on receiving the stimulus set up waves of impulses towards the central nervous system. All right, so these receptors or these cells, probably these epithelial cells that we are talking about are going to be a part of the organ, right, which is receiving that stimulus. That is why we call them as receptors. Next thing is effectors. Now the example that we are talking about of the hot vessel, what is going to be the receptor in that case? Yes, it's going to be your eyes. It's very simple, right? It's going to be your eyes, because you can see, you know that it is a hot object. All right, so that your eyes are receiving that impulse, okay, to that stimulus. Next thing is effectors, muscles or glands which on receiving the impulse from the brain or the spinal cord contract or secrete substances. Now these are the effectors. Now your hand is moving towards the hot vessel. As soon as your brain gets that impulse, the electrical activity has gone through the nerve cells, your brain has sent a response to you. Now what is going to act? Your hand is going to be withdrawn. So your hand is basically going to act as the effector over there. All right, the muscles in your hands are going to act as the effectors. All right, because as soon as you touch the object, you're going to immediately withdraw it once the stimulus reaches your brain. So that is effectors. All right, are we clear with these terminologies, these 4-5 terms, important ones? Just go through them. Now see, look at this example here in this figure. What is shown as a stimulus is a glass of water. Okay, what is called as a receptor over here is the eyes again. We are viewing the glass of water. Okay, now next thing, what is going to be the impulse? The impulse is going to be generated through the nerve cell. Okay, ये impulse यहाँ से generate हुआ via the sensory nerve. It has then passed to the brain, which is to the CNS, that is the central nervous system. Then via the motor neuron, this impulse is being carried to the effector muscle. Now, as we took the example of the hot vessel, यहाँ पे we are taking the example of a glass of water. So now what we are going to do, we can see the water. You want to pick the water, right? You can see it in front of you. So your hand is going to get that impulse from your brain that yes, it can now move forward and pick up the glass. So your hand, the muscles of your hand are going to act as the effectors. And what is the response going to be? You will be picking up that glass and drinking it, throwing it, spilling it, whatever action you're supposed to do with that. So that is going to be the response to the stimulus. Got it? One more example that's shown here is probably a plant, okay, cactus kind of plant. It is going to be the stimulus. Your finger is touching it, that is going to be the receptor. Now from there it is going to send the impulse again, going to the brain, then going to the spinal cord, and then coming to the effector. Again your effector is going to be your hand, which needs to be withdrawn because you are going to feel that poking sensation over there, right? So it's just that basic terminology is explained via these 2-3 general day-to-day life examples. All right, I hope you all are clear. Still, if any doubts persist, please put them down in the comment sections. I will go through them and then we will get back on them in the next sessions. All right. Yes. Now, talking about the neuron, which is the functional unit of the CNS, or let's say the nervous system. Now, when we talk about the heart, okay, we talk about blood, we talk about blood cells. So they are basically the functional units of the circulatory system. When we are talking about the kidney, we are talking about the nephrons in the kidney, right? We have studied the structure of the nephron in the kidney. So excretory system mein, nephron is playing the role of a functional unit. Similarly, coming to the CNS, coming to the nervous system, it is the neuron. What is a neuron? Neuron are basically nerve cells which are present in our brain. Okay, they are the functional unit of the nervous system. How beautiful they look in these microscopic pictures, and when you actually try to understand what work, what role and what function they play within us, that is, you know, every response, every action, every reaction that we do throughout the day is all stimulated because of these small, minute, tiny nerve cells known as the neurons, right? Wonder how biology, or say especially human physiology, is so beautiful. You know, you really get to understand what is actually going on inside your body, right? Yes. So going towards the structure of the neuron now. Now, what you need to know in the structure of the neuron is, firstly, three basic parts, three broad classifications. We have the axon, we have the cell body, and we have the dendrites. Okay. Yes, these are the three major things. We have the axon, we have the cell body, and we have the dendrites. This is the broad classification in the structure of the neuron. Further going in detailing about this, let's go ahead. So see, this yellow part over here that you see, यहाँ बीच में जो है, that is a nucleus. I'm sure you are able to make out. This is the nucleus. उसके आसपास का पूरा जो area है, that is going to be known as the cell body. ठीक है? These branchings that you see here are known as the dendrites. All right. And these square or whatever rectangle, cubic shaped structures that you can see here are known as the axons. Okay, they are small units which are known as axons. Okay, now going forward. Okay, now this is a very colorful slide. I hope you all are able to visualize everything clearly. Okay, let's get started with the cell body. Now, what is present in the cell body is, again, cell body is this purple part which over here which is shown. Okay, beach mein there is a well-defined nucleus. It is going to have a granular cytoplasm. Granular cytoplasm means what? I'll show you. ये जो पूरा purple part we can see ना, उसमें there are going to be certain granules, okay, which are known as the Nissls granules. ठीक है? ऐसे ये पूरा cytoplasm is going to be filled with these Nissls granules. So basically we say that the cytoplasm here in the nerve cell is granular, right? Yes. Next thing is, all the cell organelles are present in the neuron except for the centrosome. Okay, centrosome is one thing that is not present in the neuron, or one cell organelle. Rest all the cell organelles are present in the neuron, and again it has a well-defined nucleus and a granular cytoplasm. What are the granules called? They are known as Nissls granules. Okay, NISSL'. Do not go wrong with the spelling. It is important with regards to your MCQs for all your entrance exams. Okay, that is it about the cell body. ज़्यादा कुछ detail में नहीं है, basic just remember these 2-3 points and it will be it. Okay, next, dendrites. Now basically what are dendrites? All these branch structures that you see here. ठीक है, ये जो भी branching दिख रहा है, those are all known as dendrites. ठीक है, they are basically branched projections from the cell body. As you can see, they are arising from the cell body, right? This is the nucleus. ये उसके आसपास जो पूरा area है, that is the cell body, and these branch projections are arising right from there. Now, what is going to be their function? What you need to remember with regards to dendrites is जो हमारे nerve impulses conduct हो रहे हैं, right? We saw that there was a stimulus. Then वहां से जो पूरा conduction हो रहा है, that is done by the help of dendrites. Okay, so dendrites basically are playing a major role in conduction of impulses. Okay, yes. Next thing. Now coming to axons. Now see these parts that you see here. Okay, these are all the axons. Now they are long processes. Basically, it's not a one single process. They are small processes which join together to form a long process. Now this axon is covered by a sheath outside it, ठीक है, which is known as the myelin sheath. ठीक है, ये axon को पूरा वो sheath cover करता है, which is known as the myelin sheath, and that myelin sheath is further covered by another covering which is known as neurolemma. Okay, NEUROLEMMA. Okay, the axon is covered by the myelin sheath, and the myelin sheath is further covered by another layer of covering which is known as neurolemma. Okay, when it comes to axon, you need to remember these three things, these two basic names, the myelin sheath and the neurolemma. Now coming to these axons, what cells you see you can see here, ये सारे जो भी parts है axon के, everywhere you see this cell. Okay, these cells are known as the Schwann cells. Okay, another important thing from point of view of MCQs, Schwann cells, SCHWANN. Okay, Schwann cells are present in the axons. Now you see ये axon जो है, it's not a continuous process like I told you, ये बीच बीच में यहाँ पे break है, right? You see this gap here, or you see this breaking between these two parts here. Those breakings, that gap over there or that notch over there is known as the node of Ranvier. Okay, they are known as the nodes of Ranvier. ठीक है, axon में the gaps are known as the nodes of Ranvier. Okay, now going further ahead, here this ending that you see over here, okay, these endings are known as the axon terminals. Okay, the endings of the axon ka pura long process are known as axon terminals. Now what is present here is the endings are bulb like. Okay, what do these bulbs do is they will release certain chemicals which we call as neurotransmitters. Okay, this end part of the axon, which is bulb like, will release certain chemicals known as neurotransmitters. Now these neurotransmitters are going to play again another function in the conduction of the impulse. Okay, are we clear with the structure of the neuron? Yes. Okay, what is a synaptic cleft? Another important terminology with regards to the structure of the neuron. ये पूरा एक स्ट्रक्चर हो गया न्यूरॉन का, ये हमने देख लिया, सेल बॉडी ऊपर डेंड्राइट्स, नीचे एक्सॉन टर्मिनल, ये हो गया पूरा एक. देन अगेन डेंड्राइट्स में से जब वापस दूसरा स्ट्रक्चर स्टार्ट होगा न्यूरॉन का, तो देयर इज गोइंग टू बी सर्टेन गैप इन बिटवीन. दैट गैप is going to be known as the synaptic cleft. What is this gap between? This is the gap between two neurons. ठीक है, the gap between two cells, or two cells means two cells of the brain which are known as neurons, two nerve cells you can say. So the gap between the two nerve cells is known as the synaptic cleft. ठीक है guys, are we clear with this structure of the neuron? Please go through it. If you all have any doubts, put them down in the comments. We'll discuss them further. Okay, yes. Next thing now that we're going to see is transmission of the impulse. Now, how is this impulse? This impulse that we are talking about, no, that we are receiving the impulse, then एक organ से दूसरे organ तक वो transfer हो रहा है, क्या हो रहा है, कैसे हो रहा है, that we are going to see here now. Okay, firstly, what is transmission of the nerve impulse? So, transmission of the nerve impulse is a wave of depolarization followed by repolarization. Now, what is polarization in the first place? ठीक है? the cells in the brain which are known as the neurons. अब वहाँ क्या हो रहा है? There is always, remember, there is a lot of presence of sodium ions. ठीक है? Lot of sodium ions are present in the membrane. Now what happens is when the membrane is in a resting state. ठीक है? We are talking about the membrane of the neurons. So when this membrane is in a resting state, there is a lot of sodium ions, okay, which are going to be on the outside. Okay, lot of sodium ions which are going to be on the outside, which makes the outside area of the membrane positive. Okay, that state, the resting state, when it is a positive state because of presence of a lot of sodium ions, is known as the polarized state. ठीक है, ये हो गया फर्स्ट पार्ट, पोलराइज स्टेट. नेक्स्ट क्या होता है? जब भी we see some stimulus or any of our organ gets stimulated, our brain cells are getting stimulated, तो क्या होने लगता है? Impulse कैसे transmit होता है? ठीक है, what happens is these sodium ions which are present outside, they will start to go inwards. ठीक है, बाहर polarization हम क्यों बोलते हैं? Because बहुत सारे sodium ions होते हैं. Now because of the stimulus, what is happening? These sodium ions have started moving inwards. ठीक है, मतलब polarization जा रहा है वो बाहर की membrane का, correct? Because sodium ions are going inside. Firstly, when this happens on stimulus, when the movement of sodium ions starts, that is known as the excited period or the excited region. ठीक है, जहाँ पे वो sodium ions का movement हो रहा है, that is known as the excited region. Now, what is happening there is polarized state is going, right? So basically, what is happening? It is depolarization. ठीक है, see, look at this diagram. ये पूरा resting state. Outside, like I told you, positive charge because of lot of Na plus ions. Next thing is there is a excited region which is formed here. क्या हो रहा है? सोडियम आयंस अंदर जा रहे हैं, तो पॉजिटिव चार्ज अंदर जा रहा है और नेगेटिव चार्ज बाहर आ रहा है. करेक्ट, इट इज ओनली हैपनिंग इन वन रीजन. तो वो रीजन में क्या हो रहा है? डीपोलराइजेशन हो रहा है. ठीक है, नाउ गोइंग फॉरवर्ड, नाउ सी दिस स्टिमुलस व्हिच इज एक्टिंग इज बेसिकली ओनली ऑन दिस पार्ट ऑफ द organ or effector or receptor that is there, right? Only on this part it is happening. तो जब ये impulse आगे travel करेगा ना, when this will move further, which you can see in the third diagram here, this impulse is moving ahead now. वहां से let's put it as part A and part B. Part A हो गया है depolarize अभी, ठीक है, लेकिन वहां से जब impulse आगे जा रहा है towards part B, so this part A is again going to get repolarized because वापस sodium ions का active transport होगा. Understood? Impulse एक बार वहां से पास हो गया, depolarization हो गया, impulse has passed from there, part A से part B पे चला गया, तो पीछे वाला region जो depolarize हुआ था has now again got repolarized because of active transport of the sodium ions again. Now here why this is happening? That is happening because of the sodium pump. ठीक है? Now basic things that you need to remember here is starts with polarized state. उसके बाद जब सोडियम आयंस अंदर जाते हैं, it causes depolarization and that region is known as the excited region. अब जो depolarized वाला ही region रहता है ना, that only becomes stimulus for the आगे वाला part. मतलब part A को हमने depolarize कर दिया. Now part A is the stimulus for part B. So now part B is going to get depolarized, whereas the part A will now get repolarized. ठीक है, do not get confused with the terms. It's a simple analogy. Just learn it part by part, point by point. Even if you understand this diagram is going to be more than enough for you all. Okay, don't create unnecessary confusion. You might get confused as according to what is given in the textbook. It's given a lot in depth. Just go through it once. It's very easy. Okay, don't try to omit that part. It's really important. So just go through it. Okay, that is about the transmission of the nerve impulse. Now, what is a synapse? Okay. So now you see here, this is the structure of a neuron. ये यहाँ खत्म हो रहा है, ये axon terminal है, ये यहाँ एक gap है और वापस एक neuron चालू हो रहा है, right? We have already spoken about the synaptic cleft, so that is about the synapse. It is a point of contact between the terminal branches of the axon of a neuron with the dendrites of another neuron separated by a fine gap. ठीक है? न्यूरॉन का स्ट्रक्चर कहाँ से स्टार्ट होता है? डेंड्राइट से. डेंड्राइट, फिर सेल बॉडी, फिर एक्सॉन, फिर टर्मिनल. करेक्ट? तो एक न्यूरॉन कहाँ खत्म हो रहा है? टर्मिनल ब्रांचेस पे खत्म हो रहा है, लेकिन स्टार्ट नेक्स्ट वाला न्यूरॉन कहाँ से होगा? डेंड्राइट से होगा, राइट? So that gap between the terminal branches of one neuron and dendrites of the other neuron is going to be known as the synapse. ठीक है? Now there is this chemical known as acetylcholine, which is released at the synapse. What role this plays, we'll be seeing in the further sessions. Now, another important thing, types of neurons and types of nerves. Okay, this is more or less the same. The three types are the same. Neurons are the cells that we are talking about, and nerves, as we know, nerves are the blood vessels basically, or nerves which are present in our body. Now, usme bhi there are different types. First one is sensory neurons or sensory nerves. Okay? Nerves basically you can say are collection of neurons. बहुत सारे neurons at one place will form a bundle of a nerve. Okay? Now इसमें there are three types. Same thing with neurons as well as with nerves. Sensory neurons, motor neurons and association neurons. Now, sensory neurons क्या होते हैं? जो impulse को आपके receptor organ तक पहुंचाते हैं. ठीक है? Brain is generating this impulse. तो from our hand, right? Now, for example, we are seeing something. तो eyes पे वो impulse आ रहा है, लेकिन हमको वो hot object से हाथ हटाना है. मतलब eyes से impulse travel करेगा हाथ तक. Correct? So this carrying of impulse carries impulse from the receptor or the sense organ to the brain. ठीक है, जो हमने previous diagram में देखा था. I'll show you all that diagram again. From the eyes, this impulse is carried to the brain via the sensory neuron. ठीक है, then वो brain से जब impulse आपके हाथ तक पहुंचेगा, that will be carried by the motor neuron. ठीक है, motor neuron carries the impulse from the brain to the muscle or the gland. All right, and then there is association neuron, which is basically a connection between the sensory and the motor neurons. Again, types of nerves is also same thing: sensory nerves, motor nerves, and mixed nerves. I'll just show you all these neurons once. See, ये यहाँ stimulus है, ये brain है. तो stimulus से brain तक लेके जाता है sensory neuron. Then brain से नीचे effector organ तक लेके जाता है motor neuron. And the combination of sensory and motor is the association neuron over here. ठीक है, that is playing a role. So that is about neurons and nerves. So yes, I think that is it for our first session. So what we have seen here is what is basically the nervous system, what are neurons, what are nerves. We have seen some important terms, that is the stimulus, the impulse, receptors, effectors. All right. These are basic terminologies that we'll probably be using to further understand about the structure of the brain and all the chemicals basically released in the brain. And most important thing, what we have seen is the structure of the neuron. Okay? Axon, dendrites, Schwann cells, Nissel's granules, axons covered by the myelin sheath, the neurolemma. Then we have the neurotransmitters which are present. Then we have seen about the synapse, okay, which is the gap between one and the other neuron. So yes, that is about the basics that we have started about with the nervous system. And further we'll be continuing, we'll be seeing the parts of the brain and everything. So just go through the session. And for all those who have not liked, shared and subscribed the channel yet, please go to YouTube and do it soon. You're going to have access to a lot of MCQ videos as well. So yes, do like the channel. Till then, I'll see you. Bye-bye.